This is a recording to review subtracting fractions from whole numbers. And this is actually the first problem from the homework tonight. So the directions say solve, express each answer in simplest form. Remember, express means to show. So we're going to show each answer in simplest form. All right, so we have a whole number minus a fraction minus another fraction. So our first step when we have a whole number that we need to take a fractional part away from is to break that whole number down into an improper fraction. And I'm using that word decompose, right? We need to decompose that number. We need to break that whole number down. So I'm going to break the whole number 3 into 6, 6 plus 6, 6 plus 6, 6. So this is one whole, this is one whole, this is one whole. So if I have 6, 6 plus 6, 6 plus 6, 6, I have how many 6? I have 18 6, because 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. So 3 decomposed into an improper fraction would be 18 6. Now, you might be saying, how do you know what number to use or what denominator to use? Well, I can look up here and see I want to have common denominators because my last step is going to be to subtract these numbers. So I can see that I'm going to have 6 as a common denominator. So that's why I chose to do 6, 6. Okay, so step number 2 then is to look at my fractions and see if I need to make equivalent fractions using the least common multiple. So I have common denominators. And I see that 1/3, I'm going to have to make an equivalent fraction for 1/3 so that it has a denominator of 6 as well. So then I can subtract it. So I know that 3 times 2 is 6. So whatever I do to the denominator, I have to do to the numerator. So 1 times 2 is 2. So I have now all of my numbers in my problem are ready to be solved because I have common denominators. So my 3 wholes I rewrote as 18 6. 5 6 I didn't have to do anything to because it already had a denominator of 6. And 1/3 I made the equivalent fraction of 2 6. So now I have 18 6 minus 5 6 minus 2 6. And I know 18 minus 5 is 13, and 13 minus 2 is 11. Am I right? Yep, 11 6. So my last step now is to simplify. So I need to turn my improper fraction into a mixed number. So I know that 11 6 is the same thing as saying 11 divided by 6. So 11 divided by 6, it goes in once. I subtract and I have 5 left over. Remember, the leftover part becomes our numerator and the denominator is our divisor. So written as a mixed number, it would be 1 and 5 6. I know that 5 6 is in simplest form because the numerator is only 1 less than the denominator, and whenever you have just one, when the numerator is 1 less than the denominator, we know it's simplified. I also know it's simplified because the only factors of 5 are 1 and 5, and 5 is not a factor of 6, and 1 we wouldn't use because it would just be the same. So 1 and 5 6 is in simplest form.